Alright, good morning Liberty University. My name is Joel Leviton. This is HIWD 320-D02, History of Africa. Kenya. Kenya has evolved through the years and has been highly inhabited. Kenya is also a republic, and it's also the largest city. The capital city of Kenya is Nairobi. Kenya is a beautiful nation that has a tropical climate that lines the Indian Ocean. Now within the Rift Valley, there's a population of approximately 48 million people. Kenya's population is quite young on the average size. They're between 38 to 40 years old. Kenya's economic products vary. They include tea and coffee, which is actually some of the biggest cash crops for the nation of Kenya. Kenya's natural resources include coconuts, pineapples, cashews, nuts, cotton, sugarcane, and something called sisal. Hydroelectricity is the largest source of electricity for Kenya, and by the end of 2018, Kenya actually wants to have a nuclear power plant. Kenya is located between the Indian Ocean and Lake Victoria, which is perfect because it allowed people from all over Africa and the Middle Eastern countries to trade across Kenya. One of the negative things about Kenya is that Nairobi is has one of the biggest slums because there's not a lot of money there. People don't make a whole lot of money in Nairobi. The environment has changed due to population growth, deforestation, water pollution has occurred due to waste and factory factory stuff that's going on. Kenya has a lot of animals to include leopards, cheetahs, lions, elephants, and rhinoceroses. Kenya has a big military force. Kenya's military is regularly deployed on peace mission keeping, and they have a large military force. They have aircraft, they have helicopters, they have transport planes, they have trainer planes, and they actually have one of the best military forces in the country of Africa. Operation Protect Nation, which kicked off in 2011, was a mission that where they were fighting against the insurgents and terrorists who were wreaking havoc across the country of Africa. Kenya has a huge diverse ethnic group, with the largest linguistic group being in Africa. There's 60 different languages that are spoken, with more than 40 ethnic groups. In Kenya, there's two official languages. You have Kenya English, and Swahili. British English is the primary language that is spoken in Kenya, and from 1921 to 1963, Kenya was actually a colony of the United Kingdom. Scientists, interestingly, actually believe that the birthplace of human beings was in Tanzania, which is a northern country of Africa. Kenya also has one of the most dynamic and advanced healthcare systems within the country of Africa. They do have about 65,000 nurses and about 8,500 doctors. And in 47 countries, they have one hospital for each country. Kenya's music culture also is a big contributor to the economy. Music is a big part of Africa tradition and culture, with guitars being one of the primary music that's today. Kenya actually has diverse makeup of religious makeup. They have Christianity is the primary denomination of Africa, and of Kenya. Protestant makes up about 47% in Kenya. The Evangelical Church of Kenya is a large group, as well as the Seventh-day Advent, and the Presbyterian Church of East Africa, with dominant denominations such as Reforms. They also there's Methodists, Baptists, Lutherans, and Protestants also in the nation of Kenya. There's also groups of followers of Islam, being Sunni and Shiites, those groups, or Muslim groups, are mainly found in Mombasa. Kenya also has a beautiful language spoken, which is called Bantu. Um, there's an ethnic group that lives in the slopes of Mount Kenya. They're called the Kayui. They live in a village that is named for them, and that village actually still exists today. The word Kuyu means fig, and Kikui is a fig tree, which in Africa is a symbol of fertility, which is also a symbol of fertility in Asia also. There's just a quick story in the Kayuki tradition that Kikui had 9 daughters who became the ancestral mothers of the 9 major clans of the Kikuyu nation. It's said that during the creation of the earth, that God gave certain gifts to the nation. Kenya has a lot of natural resources and minerals: limestone, gemstone, salt, zinc, and others. They also have fossil fuels, coal, oil, and natural gases. In December of 2004, gold mines opened up and created a lot of jobs for Kenya. And then when we talk about Kenya's first contact with outsiders, the first contact was European people and the people of Asia, which came with the scramble for Africa. In 1885, multiple countries, to include British, French, German, Portuguese, Italian, Belgium, and Spanish, started to colonize Africa. And that was a part of the invasion, occupation, colonization, and eventually annexation of African territory. David Livingstone was one of the first explorers to visit the nation of Kenya, very famous explorer. In 1887, the Imperial British East Company leased a 10-mile strip of the coast to do trading. The British Railroad was also built up and came about, which helped people to get to and from their different locations when it comes to trading. Mission work in Kenya began approximately 1846. That was started by Dr. Johann Ludwig. He was from Germany, and he was sponsored by the Church of Missionary Society of England. So he brought a lot of Christianity, religious to the culture to the nation of Kenya. Before colonization, Kenya was populated by several different groups: Maasai, Kikuyu, and various other groups of people. There was also what was called the Mau Mau Rebellion, which basically led the country to put into a state of emergency from October of '52 to December of '59. The Mau Mau fought against the British colonies for independence for the nation of Kenya. They were basically tired of being under the British colony's thumb, and they wanted independence. There were a lot of riots. A lot of innocent people died and were killed during this rebellion. But however, as a result of this Mau Mau rebellion, Kenya did get their independence. In conclusion, Kenya is a very rich history, a lot of trading. There's myths, there's music. Kenya would see explorers from all over the world, from France to Germany to the United States. Kenya's economy continues to grow through natural resources of sugarcane and coconuts and cashews and cotton. They continue to grow in religion more and more, with more missionary groups coming to the nation of Kenya. Kenya's independence, as I said, although achieved through violence and senseless deaths, they still were able to gain their independence. The rebellion was, it was a sign that Kenya, would not be subject to control anymore. Kenya is a beautiful nation, like I said, with many animals, and that contribute to the ecosystem, and Kenya will continue to grow far into the future. So again, this was Joel Leviton, History of Africa, and the nation that I did was Kenya. Thank you very much.